The Honda HR-V is quite unique in Honda's lineup. When it was first released in the late 90s, no one knew what to do with it. No one's even heard of the concept of a subcompact crossover before. And then the second generation was released and it just sold like hotcakes. Now, the third generation Honda HR-V, I can definitely say it's a banger, guys. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we're gonna take a look at the all-new Honda HR-V, the high-riding recreational vehicle. So here's a quick trivia for you guys. Did you know that the Honda HR-V is actually designed after the H badge from Honda? In fact, if you notice the front end of the first generation Honda HR-V, it's really apparent, and you can even see hints of that in the second generation. Now, in the third generation, if you look closely, you can definitely see that as well. Now, what we have right here is the top of the line Honda HR-V. The difference between this and the other model, the lower one, is that it's got a honeycomb grille right here. It's blacked out, it's nice, definitely looks a lot sporty, as well as a sportier lower front diffuser. Now, the lower grille actually has a nice design element to it. If you notice that heartbeat logo right there, it definitely gives you the impression that Honda wants you to be excited about driving the Honda HR-V. That's a nice touch right there. I never even noticed that during the pictures, but up close, that's definitely something else. It's got full LEDs right here with DRLs. The hood is definitely lower than I expected it to be, but longer. It looks longer than the previous generation one, and overall, this sporty look definitely is my cup of tea. So heading over to the side profile of the Honda HR-V, it features a more evolved design from the previous model than a complete and total overhaul. It features a longer looking design language right here instead of the bulbous one on the second generation HR-V. Now, I like how the character line follows from the headlamps all the way to the tail lamps. This is more in line with Honda's current lineup of vehicles, and I like how the way that they applied it to the HR-V. It also has 17-inch alloy wheels right here, which is different from the lower variant because in this case you have gunmetal, while the lower variant has a two-tone look. I like how they implemented this hidden door panel, which was carried over from the second generation HR-V, which was my favorite one, by the way, because it's like you're driving around in a coupe instead of a four-door crossover. Now, if you notice this raking design at the back here, it gives it a more fastback look design that I kind of like. While the previous HR-V is more bulbous overall, this is sleeker and sportier, and that's what I really like about it. Now, I'm sure, guys, you'll be seeing a lot more of the Honda HR-V on the highway, but it's going to be leaving you in the dust. You know why? Because of that. It's got the turbo badge. Some design elements that I really like about the Honda HR-V right here is this huge light bar that runs across the width of the entire vehicle. That kind of makes it look really futuristic and looks like a more expensive SUV, if you ask me. Now, of course, you got your HR-V badge right there, this huge Honda badge. In fact, remember when I said that the Honda HR-V looks like and it's designed like the H badge right here? You can actually see that more apparently in the rear. I also like the dual exhaust ports right here, and it's further emphasized by those tailpipe finishers. You won't get that on the lower variant HR-V, only in the top of the line model. And the best part of having a crossover SUV is the practicality it affords. So you got a huge boot in the back to put all your stuff in, like so. Now from what you can see, it's actually not as big as its competitors, but it's got some magic going on that I want to show you inside later on. Now, as you can see, there's no tonneau cover, but it's actually right here. The tonneau cover is a foldable, soft one, and it's easy to attach like this. Easy, right? So you got a tonneau cover right there to cover all your things when you're parked somewhere, no problems. It's also got a low loading height right here for all your stuff or all your bags. So imagine you're carrying heavy groceries or heavy luggage. It's going to be easy for you to lift it up in the back right here. By the way, the HR-V also has another Easter egg for you. It's right there. You can see the HR-V silhouette with the heartbeat badge. All right, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at the inside, and I'm going to show you all the magic that I was talking about earlier. So inside the Honda HR-V, you'd notice right away that you've got a sporty modern interior right here. First of all, you've got soft touch leather material right here on the dash, except on top of the dashboard, of course, that's still hard plastic. You got a leather steering wheel with all the controls that you can want in your car. You got a nice sculpted center console that houses your shifter. It does have sport mode. You have a drive selector switch here to select between eco, normal, and sport. We'll be testing sport mode later on, of course, on the drive. The seats are not power adjustable. You also got 2 USB ports up front. Definitely feels very sedan-like inside, but you can also see that it's pretty high up compared to your regular Honda Civic or Honda Cities out there. You also have a 7-inch information display cluster right here that acts as the tachometer. It gives you information about your drive, your Honda sensing. That gauge cluster, by the way, changes color depending on the mode that you select. Also, it has an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It powers 6 speakers all around, which is definitely a nice surprise if you ask me, especially for a car this small. 6 speakers will go a long way. Plus, you also have these nice clicky dials right here. That's nice. By the way, about the AC unit, the AC vents are actually nicely integrated into the dash. Plus, on each side of these aircon vents for the passenger and the driver, you have this nice dial to turn it on, off, and even have the air spread out. So don't have the blast of cold air reaching you, freezing your arms. You can actually have the air directed to your shoulders, which is nice. All right, so that's enough about the cockpit. Let's head on over to the back and check it out. So in the back seat, there are a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. First of all, you've got tons of knee room. Now, I'm 5'10.5", and I've got these long legs right here, but even though I'm sitting right behind myself in my natural driving position, I still have tons of knee room, feet room, leg room. You do have 2 USB ports down there and an AC vent as well. Whenever you feel warm and hot, especially during the summer season, that's definitely a godsend. Now, I did tell you about a magic trick that the Honda HR-V has. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that to you. Just a quick note, the Honda HR-V and the Honda Jazz and the Honda City actually share a similar platform, and that means ULTR seats. This is how it's going to look. Now, here's the magic with the interior of the Honda HR-V. You can actually fold the seats up, this particular configuration right here, which allows me to pass through. That's a neat trick that only the Honda HR-V has over the rest of the subcompact crossovers out there. Plus, you can also fold the seats down to give you a really flat floor. There. Easy peasy. Another configuration that I really like is called relax mode. So put this up right there, take this out, then pull the seats down, and voila. Yeah, this is the only way to travel for me. First class. All right, so behind the wheel of the all-new Honda HR-V, if you've ever wondered how it feels like for the Honda Jazz to have a turbo engine, this is the closest thing you're ever gonna get. Under the hood, you've got a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine that makes 177 horsepower and 240 newton meters of torque. That's a lot of fun if you ask me. Now, powering the front wheels is a CVT, or a continuously variable transmission, but you do have manual mode, and you can control the gears, the simulated gears, with these paddle shifters right here. Steering is light, but not too light to actually feel kind of numb. NVH levels are all right. You can hear a lot of the engine noise permeating through the cabin, but in my case, I actually prefer that. A lot of the outside noise, at least, like the motorcycles, tricycles, jeepneys, other cars, the noise doesn't permeate that much. All right, so suspension up front, you've got a McPherson strut setup, and in the back, you've got a rear torsion bar suspension. So about that turbocharged engine, it's very enthusiastic. It really wants you to rev that engine. Now, given that it's a CVT, you can still feel a bit of that rubber band effect whenever you're accelerating. But because of the pedal shifters, it's actually kind of mitigated and gives you a little bit more road feel. Well, another highlight of the Honda HR-V is, of course, the safety features. Now, across the line, we're driving the V variant, and you'll be glad to know that even the entry-level model S variant has Honda Sensing as well. So what is Honda Sensing? Honda Sensing is the brand's suite of active and passive safety features. So you've got adaptive cruise control, you've got low speed follow, collision mitigation braking systems, you've got lane keep assist, lane departure warning. You also have automatic high beams and lead car departure notification. Speaking of fuel economy, we're able to test this just a little bit inside here. But I expect about 10 kilometers per liter in the city and about 15 to 16 kilometers per liter on the highway. Of course, that all depends on how you drive it. If you drive it like I do, you're gonna get fuel mileage much lower than that one. But if you drive like a sane person, you know, chilling, driving just the way you're supposed to do, those figures aren't that far off. Pricing for the all-new Honda HR-V starts at 1,250,000 pesos for the S variant. Now, the S variant gets the 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, but this is the V. The V variant gets the 1.5 liter turbo, which is the same that you're going to find on the Honda Civic. And this one starts at 1,598,000 pesos. You might be thinking, oh, there are other compact crossovers out there with turbochargers that are, that are less costly than that. But you have to remember what you're driving. You're behind a Honda. Honda's been around for so long now. They've built so many cars, and they're actually racing. They actually won F1 last year, and that's gotta mean something, right? Plus, Honda Sensing, having that on your car, it's definitely a game changer. So would I buy the Honda HR-V? In a heartbeat. So there you have it. It's the all-new Honda HR-V. It's got style, it's got power, all the comfort amenities that you're looking for in a subcompact crossover SUV. But I want to know what you think. Drop us a comment in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. Once again, this is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.